what's up, everybody? My
Yeah.
name is Micah, aka C, capital M to the S, aka the One. And I got with me my partner in crime.
Crimes we are committing, sir. You know what I'm saying? It's your boy P. Ross, criminally endeavored, ready to go.
The boss. Oh,
Yo.
yeah. And together we are.
Yo, that's that new hotness right there, man.
All right. So, today, good folks, music people, music lovers, whatever you want to call yourselves, we got an album review and discussion for you guys, a hip-hop album review, and we're going to take you back, way back to the 90s.
Woo. Which was
One
the
of the
best
GOAT.
time for hip-hop, I think.
I agree. So we're going to talk about, I would say for me, one of the best MCs to come out of the South. And yeah, well, don't even pay attention to the P. Ross. But anyway, like I said, one of the best MCs to come out of the South. Definitely one of the best to come out of New Orleans, hands down. So, and we're gonna do another No Limit Records review, and we're gonna definitely go off of one of the best that came off the label. One of the I said it. Yeah. Whatever. You can shake your head all you want, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna get into it.
All right.
So
whatever.
the album that I'm simply talking about is Mystikal's Unpredictable.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a minute to appreciate the album artwork. Okay, Unpredictable. He has a puzzle face that's unpredictable, right? Is that the whole premise behind this?
Probably so. And then you notice there's certain photos, I guess it sort of details certain moments in his life, like the one on the bottom, the bottom right?
Mm-hmm.
It's like he's kneeling by a tombstone, which I'm assuming that's supposed to symbolize his late sister, Michelle. And then, see, what's the other one? There's one where he's holding a contract.
Mm-hmm.
So I guess that's supposed to symbolize when he got signed, when he got his record deal with Jive Records. Then I think there's one where he's in the Army.
Okay.
Because he did serve. I know he was in the Desert Storm.
Right.
War.
Okay.
And then I think there's another one where he's, just working a regular job.
Right.
Everybody got to start from somewhere.
Oh, yeah, no doubt.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's the album we're going to talk about today. Mystikal's, this is technically, it will be his third release, and this will be his first album that he did for No Limit Records. This was released on November 11th, 1997. And, whoo, boy. Yeah, that was a good year. That was a good year in hip-hop music. But the majority of the production was done by Beats by the Pound. The in-house production team for No Limit. And then you got additional production by people like Rick Rock, DJ Darryl, Studio Ton, and the legendary Traxster. Now the legendary Traxster, I know I'm familiar with him, because he did a lot of production for Twista and everything. So, and I think Studio Ton used to do production for E40 and Be Legit and things like that. So, yeah. So, before we get into the actual album, let's get into some other pertinent facts. This album was actually, it peaked at number 3 on the Billboard 200.
What?
Number 1. Yeah.
What?
Facts. Yep. and it peaked at #1 on the top R&B and hip hop albums.
What?
Yep, yes sir. And 2 singles were released. Ain't No Limit, which peaked at number 63 on the hot R&B hip hop singles, and The Man Right Here, and that peaked at number 29. So on the hip hop and R&B singles, and then the album was certified platinum by the RIAA on April 24th, 1998. So, and then you got a few features on the album. You know, you got some of the No Limit All Stars, such as the man himself, Master P. Yeah, and P. Ross's favorite No Limit soldier, Silk the Shocker.
Silk the Shocker.
You got the biggest Mama Mia X, Fiend, Mac, and then, you know, we also got some legends on here. You got E40 and Be Legit, straight from the Bay, the Yay area, you know, and then you got also Snoop Dogg, which at the time he was still going under the moniker Snoop Doggy Dogg. And this was Snoop's first appearance on a No Limit release. So, yeah, that's about it, man. So, what was do you recall the first time you listened to this album, or you want me to, you know, tell you about my first time or whatever?
You could go.
All right. So, let me see. See, I didn't buy this album when it came out because I wasn't a big Mystikal fan at the time. The first time I heard Mystikal was like 94, 95. And this is when, you know, he was signed to the independent label, Big Boy Records. Then he ended up getting his deal with Jive. Excuse me. And then I just wasn't, like, his style at the time really didn't, I just wasn't on it like that. It didn't really, you know, gravitate towards me. Then when he got with No Limit, and I started hearing him a little bit more, then I started to say, okay, you know, he doesn't sound too bad. I started hearing him on Mia X's album. But I think when he was on Master P's Ghetto D, that's when I really started to gravitate a little bit more to his style. And then, but the person who really hit me to Mystikal to where I said, okay, now I started becoming a fan was my good friend, my homeboy, Mike Powell, who's a huge Mystikal fan, so I'm going to give a shout out to him.
Shout out to Mike Powell. Shout out to Mike Powell.
Yeah, no doubt where it's due. So, but later on, then I started to go back and really listen to this album. And actually, before I became a fan, I listened to a few tracks, and then I started to say, okay, the album is actually pretty tight. So, but yeah.
Well, you done?
Yeah, I'm pretty much done.
Well, my first experience with this album wasn't a very good one.
And why is that, P. Ross?
I am not ashamed to say that I've never owned this album. When I first heard it, I heard it through a friend of mine, and it wasn't that hot to me.
Mm-hmm.
At first. Times change, and I think I've changed up a little bit since listening to it here recently. So that's just it. You know, let's just get into it.
Okay, I'm gonna give you my top 5 favorite joints of this album, and again, to me, I think Mystikal is one of those MCs. He just has a distinctive voice or a style. You know, he's up there with those rappers who have that very twisted tongue flow, very good at it, very animated. You know what I'm saying, with his style. Anytime he gets on the track, he's gonna be one of the standouts. So, going back listening to this album, it just for me it holds up very well. Over 20 years. Well, like 22 now. It'll be 22 this year. But my 5 favorite, I'm gonna start off with number 5. I gotta roll with. I like the song "Ghetto Child" a lot, featuring Master P and Silk the Shocker. That was always one of my favorites. And so yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Let me see. Then I gotta roll with "We Got the Clout" featuring Mia X. I gotta roll with that one. Then I gotta go with "The Man Right Here," number 3, which is arguably could be the best track on the album. And number 4 would number 2. Yeah, number 2, I'm gonna go with "Born to Be a Soldier" featuring Master P, Silk the Shocker, Fiend, and Mac. That right there just set the tone of the album. They always had a great soldier song, So, and everybody on the song, just ripped the track to shreds. Master P did his thing, Silk did his thing, Fiend did his thing. I think Mac had the best verse personally, and Mystikal, of course. And then number 1, my favorite joint is "Here We Go," featuring E40 and Be Legit. Love that song.
That's what's up, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
I must continue. Those are some great picks.
Oh, hold on, wait, hold on. Before you continue, let me give honorable mention. This is another one of my favorite too. "Ain't No Limit." I like that track too with him and Silk the Shocker. And I probably say the title track "Unpredictable." That was a good one. And "It Yearns." Okay.
Cool.
Sorry about that.
All right, let me say that I never really looked at Mystikal as a great solo artist. I always felt like if you put him on a track, like for instance something like make him say he'll have a great verse. But and it's not that I didn't think that he can rap, I just didn't like his style. You know what I mean?
I was like that too at the very beginning.
But I gave this album an honest listen. And here are my 5 favorite tracks. Starting with number 5, "Murder 2."
It's a good one.
Number 4,
Murderer, yeah.
"Unpredictable." Number 3, "Born to Be a Soldier." Number 2, "Here We Go." And number 1, "The Man Right Here."
Yo, yeah.
Yo, listen, I forgot all about that song. I actually put that in my title playlist. You know what I'm saying? Because that song, that's a hot ass song, man. But again, like this album, it's good. It's good. I don't think I gave Mystikal enough credit.
No, you didn't.
You know what I mean? But he get a little bit more right now. Just a little bit, dog. So,
Man, look, Mystikal is one of the hardest rappers, MCs, period.
If you say so.
I say he's one of them.
If you say so.
You know what I'm saying? Especially to come out of the South.
If you say so.
I really shouldn't say that because, it's almost like you separate him from everybody else.
Is he in your top 5 of the South?
Of all time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know about top 5.
Oh.
I would say top 10. I would say top 10.
Okay.
I would give him top 10. Yeah.
You sure? You know what? That's
Say
that's
top
another
10.
conversation. Okay, whatever.
That's it. Yeah, that is another conversation.
So if you was rating this album, Mystical's Unpredictable, what would you give it?
I'm gonna give this out of 5 turntables. I give this 4 out of 5. Straight
Woo.
to the point.
Woo.
Yes. Yo, the album's tight, man. You know, to me, and I think it's aged well. I mean,
Ooh.
that's just me, man. And you know what? This is not even my favorite album of his.
You gave it a 4.
4 out of 5.
Now,
Give it a solid 4 out of 5.
I thought the production on this project was great, even on tracks that I didn't necessarily like
Right.
Ghetto Child. I thought the production was great, but I necessarily didn't like that song.
Okay.
Did I Do It? I thought the production was great, but I didn't like the rap. But if I was rating this album, like, I thought the production throughout it was great. Music was off the hook. You know what I'm saying? But if I was honestly rating this album, I would give it a low 3.
Wow. Low 3. Wow.
You know
Okay.
what? I just say 3. I give it a 3.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I give it a 3. I mean,
But 3's not a bad rating. It's above average.
I mean that's better than what I used to think of it.
Yeah.
You know, like if
I
you
don't
would have got me
imagine
in
what
98, 99 with this album, I'd have gave it like a -1.
Yeah.
I give it a 3. It's cool.
Damn.
It's straight.
Man. Well,
You know,
guess everybody has a right to change, have a change of heart, right?
I gave it a 3. You know,
Hey, man, I can respect that.
thank
3
you.
out of 5.
Thank you.
You know, that means you think the album's pretty good, above
No, I
average.
just think it's good. I don't
Oh,
think it's
I'm
pretty good. I
sorry.
just think it's good.
Okay, it's good. Okay, all right.
So
Well,
yo,
So let us know, all you hip hop heads, or, you know, who's fans of Mystical, or have heard this album, or haven't heard this album, whatever. You know, definitely go check it out. But if you have heard it, you know, tell us what you think about it. Did you like it? Dislike it? You think it's aged well? You know,
yeah, for sure. Leave it down in the
You know what I'm
comment
saying?
section.
leave it. Yeah, and school P. Ross. Man.
Hey, it's all good, man. It's
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah, it's
So,
all
you know.
good.
So I am P. Ross.
Yeah, and I am Micah, aka CMS, and together we are the
And we
Purple
out.
Underground. We out.
Peace.
Peace.